Today, we witness a moment of deep historical significance. President Joe Biden is expected to issue a formal apology to Native American communities for the federal government's role in the abusive Indian boarding schools that spanned over 150 years. These schools forced Native children to assimilate, leaving behind a legacy of cultural erasure, trauma, and loss. On Friday, during a visit to the Gila Crossing Community School in Phoenix, Biden will deliver this long-awaited apology. In his own words, "Biden, I'm heading to do something that should have been done a long time ago, to make a formal apology to the Indian nations for the way we treated their children for so many years. This moment is a significant step towards healing and reconciliation." The Indian boarding schools were a brutal tool of forced assimilation, designed to strip away Native culture, language, and identity. The White House acknowledges this painful history and calls for teaching these stories so they are never repeated. In 2021, Interior Secretary Deb Haaland, the first Native American cabinet secretary, launched the Federal Indian Boarding School Initiative. The findings were devastating. At least 973 Native children died at these schools and over 74 burial sites were identified. Haaland herself said, "The federal government took deliberate actions to isolate children from their families, deny them their identities, and steal from them the languages, cultures, and connections that are foundational to Native people." Governor Stephen Lewis of the Gila River Indian community reflected on the lasting trauma. "This is going to be just so significant to our boarding school survivors and the families. My hope is that by shining a light on this sad history, it will be documented moving forward, so this type of painful history doesn't happen again." Several tribal leaders, including Bay Mills Indian Community President Whitney Gravel and Mashantucket Pequot Tribal Nation Chairman Rodney Butler, joined President Biden aboard Air Force One to Phoenix, underscoring the gravity of this moment. Beyond this apology, the Biden administration has made notable investments in Native American communities, nearly $46 million through the American Rescue Plan, infrastructure law, and the Inflation Reduction Act. These funds are improving roads, providing clean water, addressing drought issues, and expanding internet access. President Biden has also moved to strengthen tribal sovereignty, restore sacred lands, and address violence against Indigenous Americans, continuing a legacy of commitment to these communities. As Election Day approaches, Biden's efforts to repair historical wrongs may also serve to bolster Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign, especially in battleground states like Arizona, where the Native American vote can be pivotal. This apology is not just a reflection of the past. It's a step towards healing, ensuring that the trauma of the Indian boarding school era is acknowledged and never forgotten. Thank you for watching. Let's continue to remember and learn from our history.